What's your story?
To my younger self, what's your
To
story?
my younger self.
To 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 my younger self. To my younger self.
To my younger self. What's your story? To my younger self. What's your story?
A big thumbs up if you can hear us. Anyone? Can't hear, can't hear, can't hear. All right, we're gonna unhook our microphone. How about now? Is it better now? Apparently it's better now. Yes, we're go, let's go, let's go. Well, welcome again to the show. My name is Zoe Baraka. I'm doing it again. My name is Zoe Baraka. Thank you to my youngest. Thank you for joining us on To My Younger Self. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I'm saying hello to each and every one of you. We've run into a few technical issues today with our guest and with ourselves, but we're working on it. I love this show because we show you everything. You know, we're not trying to be perfect. And that's great because in storytelling, there really is nothing like perfection. Storytelling cannot be perfect. It's impossible, right? Well, fantastic. And thank you for joining us. Today, I am being joined by an incredible young man. I'm very, very, very excited about this young man who is doing incredible things in his incredible corner in Ghana. And you guys are in for a ride. I mean, you're in for a ride. And so I'm very excited about that. But before we do all of that, let's pull up our greetings and then just greet each other from all parts of Africa, or at least most parts of Africa. We try to cover north, south, east, and west. Okay, we do our best. But hey, where are you watching us from? Baraka dazwa to you, Sanunku dazwa yaya de kakwana lafia. I speak not impeccable Hausa, but I get by. You know what I mean? I get by. I use Hausa to communicate with my grandma, and so I hold on very, very dearly to that language. Ken to you, Toma Toma, Fuduawela, Toma Awela. It is good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. I just greeted you in Kosal. Ndinao to you. If you speak Eve, Wezo, Aleke, Efwa, I hope you're well. It is very, very good to see you. From all of our Voltarians in the Volta region of Ghana, we are so glad that you joined us today. At the same, we greet you, and all of our can friends all across Ghana. We thank you for joining us week in and week out. Ibella to you, Ibiokibari to you, to our Burkina friends, of course. If you speak Moshi or Mori, I greet you. I greet you. Sawubona to you. If you speak Zulu, Zulu. I'm always trying to dance when I say Zulu. I don't know. The word sounds danceable. Zulu. Te oyo ten to you. If you speak Ga, welcome to the show. Ojeko to you, I am grateful. Lale to you, hello in Chadian Arabic. Tiom Ife to you, thank you for joining us. Salamu alaikum to you. If you speak Arabic, it is just a greeting. It has no religious implications. So for those of you who just went, it is really just Arabic, okay? Ekaro to you, Ekabo to you. If you speak Yoruba, I greet you. Thank you, all of our Nigerian friends. Thank you for joining us. Nagadef to you. If you speak Wolof, Jambo, Habari Gani, Iaure to you, Habari, Karibu Sana to you. If you speak Swahili, a lot of people actually think I am Kenyan. It's probably because my name is Baraka or Baraka, if you really know how to say it. Anyway, I'm about to tell a story already. I won't do that yet. Kotong to you, Amohelang to you. If you speak Sesotho, Botswana people, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Nyasi, Aloy, Domilaki, it is good to see you. If you speak Bisa, I just greeted you. Kotoli'i to you. If you speak Fofoldi and you are Fulani, our Fulani friends, we are grateful you're here. Thank you for joining us. Akei to you, of course. Bomdia to you. Bonjour to you. Buongiorno, buenos dias, maraba to you. Tasanyuse to you. Welcome. Listen, as I'm greeting you, they keep coming in my head like, hey, you haven't used this word in a while. You haven't. All right, I'm going to stop. Long introduction short. We're about to introduce to you our very esteemed guest today. Okay? I'm very, very excited to introduce this guy because his name is actually Sir. It's a Sir, and it's actually Don. That's the name his parents gave him. What incredible parents to have, right? Anyway, Sir Don Francis is a professional teacher at the Gomoa Afransi SDA Basic School in the central region of Ghana. He is a firm believer in change your world. Thus, transformation is possible beginning with each of us. What an incredible young man. I am tempted to ask him, how old are you? But we won't do that to him. He's a product of the University of Cape Coast, Atebubu College of Education, and Ghana Senior High Secondary School. He has a passion for the well-being of basic education in Ghana, and he employs the use of social media and technology to sustain his call for better education in Ghana. He's also a writer, social media strategist, youth advocate, and technology enthusiast. He has recently established a community library. Let me tell you, all of us in our little corners can do something incredible, okay? This young man has recently established a community library for his learners to help in their development. I personally, this is not part of his bio, but let me put this here. This is from my heart. I dare say he is an excellent communicator and a well-crafted master storyteller. I am very, very honored and humbled, and of course, very excited to introduce you to the ever-smiling, you'll see why in a minute, young and venerable Sir Don Francis. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a big favor, like we always do in grand to my younger self fashion. Please say hello to Sir Don Francis. Hi, hi, hi. Don, can you hear me? Ooh, we just got greeted with a black screen. What's going on, Don?
A black screen?
I see a black screen. What's going on there?
This is not supposed to happen.
Uh-oh. 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 Because honestly, that's all we see, right, guys? All we see is a black screen.
No, this is not supposed to happen. It's my time.
Do me a favor, Don. How about you do this? We're going to play a little video from our sponsor, Nana Redamoa, and his team at Book Nook. And while we play that video, log out and come back in. How about we do that? Okay? And we'll see you in about a minute and a half or so. Okay, my dear? All righty. We'll see you soon. Guys, hang with us. He's going to fix it and we'll be right back.
Very serious question. Our kids have often asked, how come I look so different from the people in the books I read? Their homes, their food, their celebrations feel so different. Parents, we should not discount these as mere kids' questions. They often struggle with their identities, and this is crucial for their development. Let's begin with exposure. Reading brings exposure and enlightenment, but not just reading. Reading materials that resonate with your identity. Reading books by our Ghanaian authors on our heritage, our culture, our occasions, our folklore, our history, our way of life. Reading about everything that there ever was. But more importantly, reading material that are written by us.
Alrighty, and welcome back. And we definitely have to say a big thank you to Nana Redamwa, our big brother, and of course, Book Nook Store for actually connecting us to Sir Don Francis. Okay, he has been the major or the main producer for this particular episode, and we want to say thank you to Nana Redamwa and his team. Sir Don Francis, let's do this again, shall we? And who is it that put the angry reaction on there? Why are you mad? We don't know, but we're happy. Well,
I hope there's no black. I hope there's no black screen anymore.
There is no black screen anymore. We can see you clearly. Yay! We have results.
All right. So
welcome to the show. This is your turn, and we are ready for you to just plunge us into a session of incredible storytelling. My job is done. Like I always say, I have the best job in the world. I work for 13 minutes every week. 13 minutes. My job is done. Over to you, Don. Take us away.
All right. So, like you give the incredible description of who I am. My name is Don Francis, and I am a classroom teacher. I say I am a kid's friend, children's friend. I love children so much, and I love to see children doing so well. So I teach in a basic school at Guest Francis, and well, I did not know where to begin from. Yesterday, when you asked me to sample the pictures, the hardest thing was to choose what to tell the audience and what to leave out. But all the same,
let me do this with you, Don. I know you have a little handkerchief by you. There you go. Good. Now we're going to clean and then we're going to breathe. We're going to breathe. All of us, the whole audience, breathe. It's been an incredible morning. Rest. There you go. We're going to do it again. Breathe. There you go. Now we're going to start all over again. Relax, chill. We're telling good stories. Take us away.
All right. So, about a year ago,
Mhm.
I was to the central region. Prior to this, my life had often been in and around the northeast region of Ghana, and then Greater Accra. On February 1st, I was supposed to come to the Gomwa Central District of Ghana. This was my first time coming to teach in the central region of Ghana. And in Ghana, all we know is education started from the central region. So we had high hopes to come and help the kids. On 11th February, I took over. Sorry if I'm sweating. There's a lot of heat in this place.
I know it is very, very hot. I know. Thank God for your little handy handkerchief. Just don't worry about us. Clean it off. Yes.
Yeah. So when I came over on 11th February, just about a year ago, I took over the 5. Ladies and gentlemen, I wrote 17 plus 7 on the board. And out of 25 students, nobody could answer.
What did you write?
Grade 17, 7 plus 7.
Wow.
And they had to count their fingers before they can find the answer. I was so downhearted. Okay. So I decided to do an English test, and that was the worst of it all.
Wow.
So the English test, 2-letter words, and only 4 students could mention the 2-letter words. I was like, Jesus, what's happening?
Wow.
So I decided to take them from the basics, as if I am starting from class 1, even though we are in grade 5. And that was where I was working. I worked outside on 11th of February last year. I worked outside the classroom and started talking to myself. This was hard for me. It was grade 5. You cannot go back and start from KG, kindergarten, bring them up to grade 5 before you teach what you are supposed to teach for grade 5.
Right. Wow.
So I started it somehow, but I realized it wasn't still helping. What was happening was there was no single book in the school, just a textbook for the student or even for the teacher. No single book. And
no
at the time,
single book?
Not a
Did
single.
you say not a single book in the central region of Ghana in 2022?
2022. There wasn't a single one. So I walked outside the classroom and I began to think about what to do. And throughout this interview, I'll keep mentioning challenges. I do not see problems. I see challenges. Challenges are what tells you need to bring a solution on board. So that is what I've been doing all this while. So when I walked outside the classroom, I was talking to myself and asking, what can I do? How do I help this community? How do I help these kids? And I have a passion for children. The first thing was leave and go. Initially, I didn't want to teach. I wanted to be a journalist when I was young. So I wanted to run away from this.
Be a good journalist.
Thank you. So the first thing was go back and find a way of doing journalism. The second thing was you like children. And the children liked me right from onset. The day I entered, I was in the blue smoke, but not this. The children were so happy without knowing me. So I felt bad. How would these kids feel if I go back and leave them here? So I decided to stay back. Then everything began. Instead of being hostile to the children and going by how everybody does their things, I decided to change. You know, challenges, when challenges come and you still do what you are doing already, there won't be any solution. So I decided to change first by becoming a friend of the kids. So what I did was open up enough for the children to come closer to me. So during break, they'll come for my laptop. And that was the first time they were pressing a laptop. They come for my laptop, they come for my phone, they come for my tablet. Then they started getting closer to me. When they got closer to me, we began having a class, trying here and there to foster that relationship. Then one day, I was looking for a book. I wasn't getting it. Then everything began. I tested and I read that one. And I needed to buy a book. He displayed a book on Book Store.
Yes, I want you to start from there. You said that the kids, right? They started getting close to you and you were looking for a particular book. So at this point, had you started working with them with at least a few books, or the school
Not,
had still not?
no, up to date, nobody has bought us books. But when we get there, I'll explain. I wasn't having the books as a time. And honestly, I wasn't equally having money. We had worked for a longer time with the government, without the government paying us. So I do my little IT behind. When I get money, then I buy the books to help the kids. So I saw Nana display a Dagari book. I'm a Dagao from the Upper West region of Ghana, but I've been living in the southern part of the country. So I saw a Dagari book posted by Nana Red Amwa. So I bought it from the website and wanted to give me feedback about how easy it was to buy the book from the book group website. And I texted number. I said, hello, administrator. This is Don Francis. I just bought a couple of books and it was so easy. Then he replied, oh, Don Francis, my boy, I know you. I said, Jesus, Nana himself, do you know me? He said, oh, yes, I've been following you from 2017. During your days, your first day in college to date. I know where you are.
Oh, wow.
You know me? I was like, Nana, if this is you, can we talk? He was like, please, I'm always here for you. Nana, there's not even a single book at where I am. How do you go about it? And he was like, please calm down. I've been like you before. I've taught around this area and we will help you come up. But please don't go anywhere. Just stay and let's find ways to it. So after he reassured me, I then began to use all the strategies I can. Then at the end of the term, even at that moment, we still not had any book. So it was going to the end of the term. Then a student, something happened. They had become friends to the extent that they felt like I was their father. In fact, most of them referred to me as their father. Then during our day, the end of first term, once we were seated and they will come and tell me, say, we got this for you. It's a farming area. We got you plantain, we got you this and that. I was so busy doing my tabulation. I didn't think. Then I saw a student standing at one corner of the room. I was like, Lydia, what's happening? Whenever she wants to come closer, then another person comes. Then she goes back. She's so shy. So when everybody left, she drew nearer to me. And I was like, Lydia, what's this? You look like somebody. And this is a 10-year girl, 10 years old. Like, you want to talk to me, but you are a bit shy. And I said, yesterday I told you I was going to bring you coconut and then some plantain and other things. But my mom says they couldn't get some at the farm. What I can do is, I have 20 pesos. Here it is. I've seen people giving you food. Take this money and buy water. Then she stood a while and said, oh, let me go and get you some water. Because you already have enough jollof, you have enough food. So we won't give you food. But we can give you a sachet of water. I tell you. Then she bought a sachet of water for me. I was so moved. I said to myself, had I left Gomora Francis, this thing wouldn't have happened.
Wow. I know you have a few pictures to show. So you tell me when you want us to pull up the picture to complement the story.
So you can display the picture with the
there's one that you had with the sachet water, correct? There you wow.
Thank you so much, Louis. Thank you so much for this. I am so happy for this. So the sachet water there was given to me by Lydia. I kept it here for a monument. She gave it to me and was like, please drink this after you've eaten. And it's 20 pesos. And on the third day, I had enough plantain that could go as high as 100 Ghana. But this thing moved me. I didn't know when I was shedding tears. I walked outside the classroom. I'm like, Jesus, this is not happening. Wow. And Lydia, how could you think like this? What came over you? And I just didn't know what to do. So instantly, I took a picture of it. My phone wasn't even a nice one. It could just last 1 hour. I tried to get a picture of it and posted it on the internet and was like, this is what's happening. As soon as I posted, my phone went off. So I went, there's a house I often chat from. I asked them, we're not having light at the school. So I went to chat the phone. When I took it back, in 40 minutes time, a lot of shares on Facebook, a lot of comments, DMs. People were like, can we get to the girl? What do you do for the girl? I was like, oh, Charlie, this is too much. I didn't know what to do. My phone was also running low again. So the very day the vacation day, people came through for her. A lot of social media friends came through for her. And they sent us some small amount of money. I bought her books instantly because she is not good at it. Now the books you see behind the picture are books Nana I read more once again. I dedicate this very interview to the man Nana read more. I repeat, I dedicate the whole thing to him and then to yourself. Then Nana read more came to us like, Francis, please go to the book store and like you told us, select any number of books you think you can fit for the girl. And then like that would total an amount of 200 Ghana cedis. I went online. Like I was so excited that I overchecked the books. Then before I realized it was over 270 onwards. So I told Nana, please, I've had the books, and the books are more than the amount you told us to take. But I'll add the rest of the money. He's like, oh, don't worry. From delivery, everything, the books were over here and there. Still, he gave it to us, delivered it to me freely. Now, that was the beginning of my entire story. You know, the whole class had not had a single reading book. So I taught in abstract. For example, I taught them something like minimal pair. Example like hide, then side. So I realized the kids, now this is the media. This was the last day. You could see at the end of the picture, you see some copyright book in her hands. She was not having a uniform. Yes, and then I am with her during the vacation because it happened on the vacation day. When I came to Accra, I was about going to Atebu to visit my parents. Then I began getting calls. People wanted to meet her. I came back to the village, so this is her during the vacation in the middle. Then I came, met her at the house, took a picture with her. Then someone asked, it looks like that day she was not in uniform. I was like, yeah, he doesn't even have a uniform. Then this is someone from Wa. So he was like, I'll get her a uniform. So when somebody contacts us and says, we want to help, then I say, now we have a uniform, we have shoes, we have bags, we have some small section of books. But what I do as a teacher is that every class I handle is a community. Once you fall inside my class, I am the head of the community. Every person matters. I tell my children, once you are my class, you matter in the class. I realized the lab was only for Lydia. But what we do is, it's a community. So all the children have to enjoy from one person's benefit. I keep saying my class is 15. So I told Lydia, look, I won't concentrate on only you. What we'll do is we'll let the entire class enjoy. So when Nana gave us the books I selected, I decided to share it among them in groups during the vacation. So what we do is, during vacation, 4 of you will read one book. Then during the vacation, when I came, the kids will call and say, we've seen the minimal pair in the book. Somebody just said he saw sight and fight in a book. It was one of the books that's displayed right now. I was like, so you could recognize the minimal pair in the book. Then that meant that if these kids were having books, they would have been far better than who they were. I was like, God, the way is coming. So the first challenge after Lydia's own was that Lydia, the children were fighting over the book. That was the basic thing. They were fighting over the book. I went to visit them at home, and a lot of issues. They will go and read one book and won't come early here and their parents talking. So I decided to find another way again. Then from there, I had to be creative now. I was still communicating with Nana. Did you see what happened? Now the children are able to recognize words here and there. Nana was like, Francis, there will be a way. And I should say that anytime I fall into a bigger challenge I think I can't overcome, the biggest assurance I've often had is Nana will tell you, Francis, there's a way. Once he tells you, I've been like you before, I've been there, there's a way, then I get the way. So please,
wow.
Yes. So please, there's another picture of the Lydia again. Display it.
Let's
Lydia
see.
picture.
Which one is that?
Yes.
I
You
don't see that one. Hold on one moment.
So right from
talking and we'll
don't
try
worry.
to.
Yes, let's go. So right from having the books and the kids beginning to adapt to words in the book, because if you see they would write words and I'll question the reading book, and it's coming from one of the books that I gave us. So I was like, can I be strategic enough? And I am a 21st century teacher. What we do is build them. So I realized this case, I told them, you don't communicate to me by word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, we have a meeting, class meeting, general meeting at the end of every month, a minimum of 3. So during one of our general meetings, which is led by the students themselves, the class captain, and then the assistant, and we have a committee, 5-member committee. So during one of the meetings, I told them, look, I will no more take oral permissions or anything oral. I don't want it. What I want is, if you have
You need
anything
to
to say,
write a
write
letter.
yes. So what I told, and what I say is, because the class is a community, I'm responsible for all the students and then both for my actions.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this day I had to do a workshop on behalf of my school. Then I wrote a letter to the head teacher that I won't be available because she is obviously sending me out there. But I did not copy the class prefect. The next day I came to school. This student had the vim enough to say, "Hey, you were not in school. We didn't get your letter." Jesus, you didn't get my letter? They demanded for the letter again. Say, can you please write the letter in place? It's in place of yesterday because we were not there. So we want the letter. I asked, what will you do with my letter? I'm the teacher. I said the law. Then I said, you said the law. Can you please follow the law? So that very afternoon, I had to write the letter to the class captain. He minuted the letter, read to the entire class. And I was like, yes, I said we're going to use letters. And I was the first victim. From today till you leave this class, if you have anything to say, absenting yourself, anything serious, you think the class should do something you're not doing, anything like that, please write a letter. That was another thing we overcame our challenge. So a few days later, so here we go. So
turned the letter around because the way it was sent. But I want to be able to let the people know that this is Sir Don Francis's letter that he had to write to the students to explain why he was away, right? And so I see a name on there accepting it, received.
So on the first day, I wrote a letter, kept it in the white and gave it to the class captain. We were all seated in the same classroom. Then the class prefect read to the entire class why I wasn't in school yesterday and why it won't happen again without giving them an official letter. They all agreed and they forgave me for doing what I did. 3 days later, one of the boys I would say he's that kind of a lively boy called Isaac Otabo, but I call him Otabo. 3 days, he was the one who made mention of me bringing the letter. He began the whole thing and telling the class, he says we should bring a letter, but he didn't bring it. Then the entire class followed me. 3 days later after my letter, Otabo was absent, no letter.
Oh my God.
Like, Otabo, is that what you did? You didn't come to school, no letter. You forced me to write a letter, and in 3 days you didn't come to school, no letter, no phone call, nothing. I went to their house, and they had gone to the farm. The next day when you go to school, I said, Otabo, as long as what is good for Uganda is good, it's also good. What is good for Greece is also good for Uganda. That is just a funny way.
Yeah.
I asked him to write a letter, just like I did. And I'll collect the letter, minutes, and then the class referred to me. He wrote the letter there and read the words of. He went straight forward in just a single sentence, back to the other letter. He wrote it in just a single sentence.
Wow.
And he said, Otabo went straight. Said, my mother said, Otabo, let's go to farm. Straight up. That was all the letter was. Then so the second letter on top, you could see it. He just wrote straight. And I equally received the letter. Yes, here it is. The other one. I received the letter, minuted it, and the class captain minuted, and we read to the entire class why he wasn't in school yesterday.
Is that the one with the phone?
No, the previous one.
This one here?
Yes. So in the much white paper is Otabo's letter. I kept it online and it went viral. I kept it there and back to teaching. So when I came, I saw a lot of people commenting on it. Both Nana read more people had commented, shared. I saw some big people like Felix Kwachio Fosu, Big men around me, they were all commenting, like they were interested in how we are able to entertain these children while teaching. So they were encouraging you, keep doing this, keep doing this. I was like, okay, my children, I read the comments to them. What happened? To them, guys, it means officially our communication medium is letters. Then they accepted. From then till they left my class, we used letters. I have several letters here. Look,
Oh,
I have
wow.
letters. I have over 100 letters in my pack. Some
I'm
stories, some.
crying. I have tears. It is such a powerful way of teaching. Sedinam says his mother said, Otabel, let's go to farm. And that's
Oh,
exactly what, and I wish we had a way of kind of turning it around, but that's exactly what it says. He said, and I like the way you taught them how to do the heading at the top and the addressing at the top and in the middle. And then he actually wrote, Dear Sir. And, you know, he said permission to be absent. My mother said, let's go to farm.
And you know, at the time, we had not even learned letter writing. At the
Wow.
time, I taught them how to write letter, but I told them, look at how I wrote mine, and it's formal. I just gave them a 10 minute lecture on formal letters. So I was so surprised this just a 10 minute lecture because this is a class that was in class 3 during the corona season, came to class 4 for just a term, and then to class 5. So it meant that class 4 and 5, they were not,
They
they
were
had
not.
not learned anything. I had the task to teach them class 3, class 4. So letter writing, they had never done it. So seeing they could do this in just a single 10-minute lesson, I was so impressed.
Yes.
So everything to go from there. And then when they realized their letters were making waves on the internet and people were liking them, I was there. Then they wrote a letter, said they needed a football. In one sentence again, then all of them wrote their names, all the boys. It was led by the class football captain. This is it. The name is Jerry. So Jerry wrote this letter. All of the boys signed. Then they submitted it to me. I said, what do you think I should do? I don't sell balls. They are like, sir, however you're going to do it. So I decided to post it on Facebook. Look, this letter took just 1 minute 47 seconds. Nana read that one commented. How much? He sent in someone's number and says, contact the person for a football. I was like, nah, is this serious? He says, yes. And I had just had a call from them, and here we go. We had a football. So it looked like letter writing was becoming another way of having a very nice way. That wasn't even the end. So we had a football, which is currently in the school, but unfortunately, because of our environment, it is all getting sports. Now,
We shall
after
be
this,
able to get another football. And now, people in the audience, what do you say? We need more footballs, right?
now,
Wow.
after the football, we also went for our third class meeting before we will have our general meeting and then we vacate. Then they wrote that they needed the class. What happened in my school? It is only grade 4, 5, and 6 that has a building. The rest they sit under hat. So, and in my class, I used a laptop, and sometimes I had a desktop here I bought, and then, but because there's no light, when the laptop goes off, that's all. And in the Thai school, when it rains, no class. Once it rains, the other teacher will have to join you. So there was a day it rained from 9 a.m. until 3, and there was no lesson. I was pained because I hate to waste time. So I was like, the kids went for a meeting, and the kids wrote that they needed a lot of things, which is light. They needed so many things. So in the other letter, you could see there was another letter you posted. So in the other letter, they wrote the things they needed, which light was included. So I posted it on Facebook, just like that. And I was like, this is what the kids are saying. Then she didn't even comment. Someone came to my inbox and was like, hey, can I please get your school light? And when I asked for getting light, this was over 1,000 Ghana cedis because you are going to buy a meter. There was a meter though, but the means to get the light costed us so much. I was so afraid, but I had begun with my own money. So when the lady came into my inbox, I was like, good. If you are going to help her, this is what goes. She was like, let's not talk plenty. Take back your money. I'm going to take a full cost of the entire electricity. As we talk, my class has electricity. In fact, I wanted to do this interview in the class, but the other kids will be making noise, so I left the class. And so today, we can have our computer lessons at any time, at any time. So be it, we still have our life just like it is. It's there. Then that wasn't even the end of the entire story. I have so many amazing stories. Let me also say this. So this was about the life in the letters. And we got all this just because they began writing their letters. You write their letters, one this, one that. And this is how we got our electricity. So please display the next picture and let me use that one too. This is what they were needing. The picture you just did. So in this picture, you could see that they needed some things. And again, the boys had written a letter and had a football. So the girls too came in like, they too need a skipping rope.
Oh,
when they too, yes, they equally signed. So this second letter is by the students, the ladies. I had few girls, so I accepted them like Ed because I like them. And I had an amazing class prefect, the lady at the office called Miss Malaika. She was so gentle. She could do her job well. So she led her friends and they wrote this letter. And I posted that one too. Then here came another big sister of mine. Yvonne says she's going to get us a skipping rope. Before I could say something, then she had already sent the money. And we got them the skipping rope as well. So as time went on, I realized the thing about education is that when you involve people who are not education related, for example, we have entrepreneurs, but once they feel like they are related to your class, then it makes it interesting. One, it keeps me accountable. Two, the children feel like they have parents and friends. Actually, before I could have this interview, the first person to ask was Kingsford. Is Nana going to be on the interview? I like, what's Nana? It's Nana. So my children knows names of they know names of people who comment on our stuff, and they feel responsible. So I often tell them, if you don't learn, one day when Nana comes, what will you do? And they'll ask, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, if you don't do that, people are looking up to you because I tell them you are gentle, you are very good boy. If you don't do this, your friends, you are disappointing them. Then they sit back.
Wow.
So involving everyone into the classroom was the best way to go. But there were still challenges.
Wow.
My
God.
Now the challenge, when they began writing the letters, once again, Nana was like, your children are doing well. I was like, yeah, Nana, it's true. They're doing well, they're picking up now. He will ask for the progress time to time. And I'm like, Nana, they're doing well. Then he's like, Francis, one day around 3 p.m., I received a text. Around here, we are relocating and we have some old books. Do you like them? From Nana. I was like, Nana, please, do you just ask, do you like them? Please, I need all kind of books. Whatever book it is, once it is a paperback book, please. Send them, we need them.
Wow.
So, it was like, you get only a box of books. I said, Nana, even if it's a sheet of books. So 3 days later, he called and was like, a box of books is just ready for you. Then in another 2 days, he called and said, oh, you have two. We are going to get 2 boxes. He says, yes. I said, okay. Then I was there, the post office called. Hello, Francis, we have, because they often deliver to me, they will come to the school. By this time, they were like, your items are too heavy, we can't bring them. So please come for it at the office. I quickly tested and I'm like, Nana, the people are cold though, but they are like, this time they have a tricycle that they could bring it, but telling me it is heavy, it meant that the box were really heavy. Yes, so I sent my class captain, my office girl, which is Grandpa, and then Miss Malaika, my class, my office girl. Yeah. I sent them to the post office. So I think that picture is there. I sent them to the post office. So here we go. We went to the post office to pick the item.
God.
Fortunately, all the pictures couldn't show because we had to just
yes, we had to be very selective with the pictures. There's so many of them, guys. So many.
So
wow.
When we went to the post office, something happened. An old man saw me and was like, are you a teacher? I was like, yes. He said, you behave like an old day teacher because you brought your kids from our fancy to the municipal post office there. I'm like, yes, I want them to experience. Then he's like, children learn. by these things, and they'll never forget. I said, okay, so you mean the student will like it? And once we went, they were smiling. And when we went and saw the book, these students were so happy. They asked me to take a picture of them, this picture. When we came home, we sent these books to the school, and another challenge came. There was nowhere to put the books, but we had two boxes. Come and see that day, all my lessons were disrupted because whatever you did, the children were just looking through the books. The enthusiasm they met with the books was too high enough to disrupt my class. So I gave them the time. And
oh my God, look how they're devouring the books. They are so excited. Wow.
And you know, the first boxes were just two. When I sent to the school, the children asked that I allow them to at least have it each to themselves at home so that they can access it. Then Nana called again and said, another box is ready. I'm like, Nana, please, you want to kill me? Another box is ready. Then it wasn't another box. 3 boxes much bigger than the first box.
Wow.
So you mean that we were having books. We were just having books. So I brought them to the house because in the school the KG to class 6, everybody had books. But we couldn't put them together. So I felt bad because as of now, most of those books, the KG benefited. Grade 1, 2, every class benefited. But I didn't like the fact that they were not at one place. Because when they leave, so I began thinking, is there another thing we could do? So I informed Nana, I won't send the extra 3 boxes that came to the school. I'll put it at home. So I brought it to the house. When I brought it to the house, unfortunately within those days, I fell sick, so weak, and I couldn't go to school. This student came to visit me. When they entered and saw the books there, I had no time for myself anymore. Scattered the books. They were picking the books anyhow. They weren't even listening to me. I was sick. You were coming to greet a sick teacher. Now your friends are the books. Am I not your friend anymore? Or would you do that? But the kids were not listening. And they won't go. They won't go. So we all displayed the books. And my room was full. Honestly, for over 2 weeks, I had to have a very minute place to lie because my room was getting full of books.
Just filled with
and because
books.
the children, yes, because the children had seen there were books, I'll tell them, look, my students do not visit me at home. That's one of my formula. But you'll be there, then someone is knocking. You open and say, I'm coming for a book. It was becoming too much. And the funny thing, a teacher's budget, I will cook my banku for 2 weeks because of the they will come and say, banku is finished.
Your food.
They eat fast. They will come, they will eat ampesi. Every day they have something to eat. I'm like, Charlie, you guys, if you continually come to my house in this multitude, and at the time, we were not being paid. So what I did was, okay, so instead of allowing you guys come here every day, we'll find a way of establishing a place where the books could be kept. Because if I'm going to host you in my house, we can't do this. So we began taking again, and again they will come here. They will come. The children can come as early as 5 a.m. and leave here 8 p.m. And I didn't like it because I did not live in a car. So I began thinking, what can we do? Then I asked Nana once again, Nana, the children are coming to my house, and I don't want them to come. I'm a silent person. So what can we do about that? Then he says, can we find another way out? He asked me to think deeper. So, unfortunately, it's raining, so there might be a night behind. It's just raining, but please, I hope you hear me.
Don't worry about it. We can hear you. Keep going. Yes.
So, Nana said he used to have a friend who established libraries, and he had a skeptical framework of how the libraries were organized. But he was like, can we also think about what to do? I was like, that makes sense. So I went to the school and wanted to do it at the school. But I realized that at the school, it's only accessible during school hours after closing. No. And I have passion for the children so much that I can leave my room at 10 p.m., go about all the communities. If I see you a kid outside, I'll force you to learn or sleep. So I realized they could read. So I told Nana, okay, then we can organize something like a mini library. Then he says, oh, let's just find a place outside, like around where the children live. Make the children the administrators of the place, so they will take care of it. Okay, so it makes sense. Then I began searching. You go everywhere you go, you get a place and they tell you it's over 300 Ghana cedis in this village. A shop just opened a library, 300 Ghana cedis. So it was becoming difficult. And I didn't have the funds anymore. And I'm one person, I'm so afraid to ask for funds from the public. And I just didn't know what to do. So I began gathering money myself and doing those things. Unfortunately, I got a place. Then it wasn't to expectation, but the fact that I can just display the books for the children to come and take. I was like, if that's the case, then let's do the library. I told Anna, he said, even though you are shy, you don't want to ask the public for funds, the public is part of your class. Tell them you want to be a library. That night, asked Nana, I wrote the thing for him. I asked Nana, please read through. Is that how it should be? Then he read, I was like, Nana, I'm feeling very, very, very scared. But he was like, Francis, post it. I posted it. Then I got people come up to help me. We got about 1,200 Ghana cedis. But that was far beyond the rent. So I was there, then someone called me, oh, Charlie, I was owing you for about like 2,000. And are you ready for the money? I was like, send it. So he sent it. I added the public's money, went to do the renting for the place, do the furnishing. Up to now, the furnishing, there's still a bit to do, but do the furnishing, bought a marker board, and we displayed the books at the library there. So that is how come we were able to start the library. We are still building the library. So here it is. So this is how the library is. Yes, and we go there. What we do is we go to the library on Mondays. Then we will pick books. When you go, you read. The next day, when you come back, then you hold a reading session, a briefing session. So you tell us what you read. And so I read myself, they read themselves. Then when we do this briefing session, then I teach them. I am more concerned about their literacy. So I'll teach them. But after just 1 week, I realized there was a challenge again. Because the books were displayed on shelves and there were no many, the covers were crumpling. And there was something to do. I tested and the covers are crumpling. But before that, we had somebody who chuuuuu wanted to take me out and then the best two students in my class for just a lunch. And the person was like, you are doing well, let us send you out. But I was like, it's not about me, it's not about the two children, it's about the community. So if you want, please, we want to be a cardboard and put our books inside. Then the person agreed. So we didn't go for the outing at Accra, but the person agreed. I told the entire class, two of you plus me, our benefit, we are giving it for you. So we used that money and some few friends of ours. And then once again, another challenge came. The carpenter keeps telling us the price. That was when the dollar was trading around 15 cedis. So the carpenter raising the prices, but through God, we were able to finish it. So as we've currently packed the books into the cardboard. So when we go to the library, we open it, then we take the books we want and we send it home. And we also learn. But as we talk, when we go, we sit on the floor like that. I've been able to also buy the marker board. Sometimes I am more focused on their literacy. What I do is I teach them. I teach them book things in the first aid books. There were these books called first aid books. It's so interesting for the children to learn. So it's like we teach them those things, and they are so. And the thing is, we are getting a lot of pressure because children from different schools. And myself, I don't have a school because you see children from a faraway school. They see you say because you're that kind of teacher. Every child knows you. I don't even know them, but they see you. So they want to come to the library, and the pressure is already mounting. The place is very small, and the number, even my own can't contain us, but there's pressure coming. But I like the fact that I left the story out. I want to go back for it.
Sure. Yes, you can. You see how enthralled I am. I can't talk. And go ahead. Yes.
So when I went to the library with the children, and I realized when we take the car, I would show them, oh, this is post office. And we had learned about prominent places, landmarks. When I tell them this is empty office, this is the post office, this is here and here. So they keep asking. So say, does that mean it's a landmark? I'll be like, yes. So I realized they lied there. It was more of an excursion. So I took a step. Then at the time I was not having money, but I took a step, and it was on the Father's Day. Then I did a random sampling and had two children called Kobe and then solving. So these two children, I sent them to Winnipeg. We have learned about oceans and seas and all those things, but they don't know. And they're in central region, they don't even know. They have no idea. So one weekend, I went to the parents and told them, and right now it's like the children, I am their father. Let me put it that way. So I don't really need much permission. All you need is just, "Oh, I'm taking this boy out. Nobody will question. They will sleep there, nobody will question where the children are." Because I'm like, so I told them, I'm sending these two boys to Winnipeg. So we set up. I sent them to UEW. Then I went to the Efutu, and that was basically the reason why that was where the idea of library came from. When I sent them to the Efutu Municipal Library, the kids, as soon as we entered, they assumed a different spirit. I wasn't their friend anymore. Their friends were the books. I was like, "Come on, what's happening?" They called and said, "Sir, we've seen a dinosaur." I asked you, "Well," because we had learned about dinosaurs. I just mentioned it in one of our readings. So they'll be like, "Sir, is this a dinosaur? Is that what you're talking about?" I was like, "Yeah." So they'll keep changing the books. And I was like, "Oh, so it means if these children have libraries, then they can have these options." So that was the very first day, the idea of,
Was
so
that
here
the
we are.
person pictures?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Kingsford and then Kelvin. So when we went to the library, as soon as we entered after registering, they won't talk to me again. They were all fixated on the books. So I took this picture to remind myself about how the children were fixated on the books instead of me. So we learned, I went to the library and I was so inspired. So this was the basis for the library. So whilst we were going to the library, I saw a book by the Australian mathematics. I realized the book was so practical. So I took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. I'm like, "I've seen this book, but I need help to buy some." Then, so here the kids were all reading. They were reading. So they'll be like, "Sir, what is this?" Then I'll be, "Oh, it's this, it's that." But I helped them out. So when I saw the book, I posted it on WhatsApp and then Facebook. Then once again, who is coming to help me out? Nana read that one. He says,
It looks like today's story is Nana did this. It feels like a story time for Nana, but really, yeah, wow.
Yeah. So he texted me a contact and says, "Add this person." In less than a minute, I texted the woman. I'm like, "I got this lead from another Redamo. I need this book." Then the person is like, "Oh, we had some, but they are out of stock. We'll inform you at 3 p.m." Then when the books were in stock, I went to Accra and picked the books for the children. So there was a party to see the children. I shared for them. But this is the exception. And now there is a story about this thing that I will never forget until I die. Now let me give you a clue. You see, the children are they are by the sea.
Yes.
So one went to the sea, the Winnipeg beach. The children, I realized they love the beach so much. And when we were having fun around the beach shore there, then I decided to write my name at the shore. When I wrote my name, before I could finish writing the S for the Francis, the breeze came and pushed away my name. I was standing back and I realized that if I concentrated on making name for myself, then this water will push it away as a matter of time. It will push it away and there will be no more story about me. So let me see what will happen. I called the students and I said, "You should rather go and write your name." And you see them writing their name. And I went back, stood back, far away, and I was watching them enjoy the sea and other things. And I realized from that day, I decided to take less of me, more of the children. Because if you concentrate on making a name for yourself, it doesn't go anywhere. You'll be the only one mentioning your name, don't fancy, don't fancy. So I changed the focus and I made the children the center of everything from that very day. So they went to the beach and they enjoyed. They really enjoyed the day. We left at 6 a.m. and came back at 8 p.m. because they were enjoying. So that was where the entire thing came from. But at the library, when I got the books, I just posted on Facebook and I said, we needed help to buy these books. Then one Mr. Evans came to me and said, "Oh, I'm going to buy all these books for you for the entire class." And I was surprised, but he bought us all the books and even gave me transportation to move from here to Accra, buy the books, came back and shared it for my class. So it was the official workbook for our homework. When you are going home, you go with. So here we are. So this book is the Australian curriculum, which part of it was taken as part of the new curriculum. So I realized it was so practical. We distributed it to the class. Everybody got the book, and whenever you are going home, that is our official. We couldn't even complete it before they left to the next class. So that
Oh,
became our official book.
Lord.
That is from the session we took to the library. That is where I got the inspiration from. And once again, we built that. So when
Wow.
I came back to the session, I
I
realized
I
most
really have tears. I can't. My goodness. Go ahead, Don. Just keep going because I can't interrupt
okay,
this flow. Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
So when we came back from the session and the library thing is happening, everything here we go, things are changing. I realized I just have to be children oriented. I had to edit my plan. I'm someone who plans my year. I had to edit my plan and focus it on the children and do everything around them. So the children became my center. And as we talk today, our library is standing. Yes, it still has a lot of things we need to do. I have to find some table and chairs so that when we go, we can sit. And then my
Mm.
own very own self, a much more bigger thing for it. But that wasn't all. Now I had saved. I was. This is the only time I'm saying this. I've never said it anywhere.
Oh my
I
God.
had saved already because the kids like the excursion. I was saving to send them for an excursion at the end of the thing, but unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Oh,
The money wasn't enough, so we used it for our day, and we were gradually separating. That year group, the 2022 year group, was separating from me like that. But
oh my God.
I yes, I like the fact. So we had a very nice time. So there's a picture, please, the picture with where I named it as the separation and the goodbye.
Oh,
So gradually the term was coming to an end last year, and we were saying goodbye to ourselves. But it wasn't also at the top is my savings I did for the children. Only one CD and two CD coins I did. So
oh
I
my
kept
God.
I kept saving this so that I could get 4,000 Ghana cedis to organize the excursion because at the time they said they were going to take 4,000 Ghana cedis and I didn't get. I got
Where were you
only I think
taking
about
them? What
yes.
excursion was that?
I wanted to send them to Accra so that we visit the Black Star Square because almost everybody knows it. They know the prominent places. It's part of our curriculum.
Let's do this right now. We're gonna take inspiration from you. I need, and you guys know, to my younger self, never does this. We don't ask for funds. We don't. But I do believe that Don Francis and what he's doing for these kids, it's so phenomenal. We all know the impact of storytelling. You cannot imagine how many kids will tell a story one day and have Don Francis's name in there, the teacher that changed their perception, but most importantly, the places they went to. Um, so let's do this. And today, in fact, we haven't done a lot of things because the stories are so enthralling. But like, we didn't do question of the week. We didn't even put up our producers' names and what you're watching, as you can see. But I only put this up because our producer, she knows where I'm going with this. She didn't even let me finish. Elsie, who is our producer, she says, I am in with my hands, feet, head, and heart. Because she knows where I'm going with this. This is one of the mandates of To My Younger Self. So this $4,000, we're going to do way more than that. These kids have to go to Accra and do what they need to do. So who is in? Elsie's in. Who is in? I just need you to put in the comment section, I'm in. And I need you to do something for me. You're going to go, let's pull this up, guys. We're going to go right here. We keep telling you this is a movement, right? And this is where you can send your support. There's a cash app right there. It's the $ To My Younger Self. That's TMYS, the number 7. Just send us $25, $20, however much you have. Just send it to My Younger Self. We'll bundle it up, put it together. Don Francis and his kids have to go to this excursion. Okay, 4,000 Ghana cedis. We can definitely handle it. So I see a few people are already saying they're in, they're in, they're in. There you go. She's in. Akosia is in. There you go. Jane is in. Oh, guys, I'm about to cry. Yes, yes. They said, yes, I'm in. And so Jane wrote, yes, I'm in. Send us something. $50, $100, $20, $15. I know some of you are in the UK and in France and Switzerland. Send us your piece. Okay, for those of you who can't, we're going to coordinate with Nana so you can send from the UK and Switzerland, you can send it to Nana, and then we will add ours to Nana so we can present it to Don and his kids. Please, 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 4,000 Ghana cedis. We can handle that together, right? All right. Don, we're done. There's so many people that are in right now. I'm going to leave this in the ticker for a while. After the show, we want to see the Cash App beeping, okay? Just let it beep, guys. Let it beep, okay? We can handle 4,000 Ghana cedis. Don, over to you again. And thank you guys for doing this. We truly, truly appreciate it. Go ahead.
So please, I would want to acknowledge someone. In the year 2000 to 2003, I didn't intend to be a teacher, but I had a teacher, and this teacher was much concerned about my education, my reading, and I am modeling after him, Mr. Ali Mustafa. I do not know where he is. I think.
Can I just say something, Don? I'm not even kidding you. Right this minute, like in this very moment, as I am speaking with you. My phone is beeping. Someone literally just sent $100. Thank you. And in fact, in it, it said, for Sir Don Francis, $100. I cannot even, my brain is exploding. Thank you. I know this person does not want me to say her name, but I just want to say thank you right in the middle. Something important and incredible is happening already. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let's keep going, Don.
So I grew up in the slum. I'm a farmer's son, and he picked me up and treated me like his son, and I'm modeling after him. This teacher, at the age of 9, I was reading Roberts because of a teacher. So I decided to do that to the children because it helped me. I grew up with a lot of guys, but we can't find them anymore because they did not have the literacy.
Yes.
And reading said that there are two things that keep me inspired, which is reading. Please, I cannot live here without mentioning some books. So please remind me when I want to mention the books I read. I realize that reading helps me to stay afresh. Whatever I'm doing today is because I read it. And then school. So that is why my basics with the children is just helping them to acquire literacy and then to know more about the world.
So tell us the name of this teacher that inspired you so we can say thank you to him.
This teacher is called Mr. Ali Mustafa in Atebubu, as you are currently. He's still alive in Atebubu right now. He's alive and he has a school. He's the one who inspired me from my infancy to read and to spell and to speak. These three things: reading, writing, and then speaking. He instilled it to me. So if you enter my class, you see I have written on top of it: reading, writing, and speaking. These are my basics. Every child, before you leave my class, you should know it. And I've also added traveling. Please, this is the last picture of the previous years. Now, when we resumed, they were supposed to go to class 6, and they called me for a meeting, sat with me, and thanked me. These little children were able to say, thank you, sir, for having us and for being an amazing teacher to us. That day, I nearly cried. Then they also.
I just love how happy they look, how confident they look, and the clean shirts they have on. It feels like a conclave of great minds, and I'm just so in love with this picture. It felt like the end of an era, and oh my goodness, wow!
And it's not. I am a disciplinarian, so once you are around me, you have to be disciplined. And up to date, if you come to my school in class 6, because they break 6, I taught them for a year. And you know, if you don't iron your uniform, you don't come to my school.
Wow.
If you come late, you don't come to my school. When I stop at the market and I see you going to school and you are walking small, you have to run. Because that is how my teacher taught me. Again, I don't want to come and see you at home in the night, 8 p.m., and you are watching a movie or you are idling about. You have to be reading. So these are the things I teach them. And when they separated from me, you will like it so much because the painful part is that we couldn't take videos of these children a year ago. Because I, as a teacher, the transformation I have seen in just a year, it's enough to motivate me to do what I'm doing. Because these children will come to school. Some will come with a sandals in grade 6. They will come to school with a sandals. But now, you dare not come to school without an iron uniform. You dare not come to school and behave anyhow because I'm in school. Once I'm there, you have to stay disciplined. So these are the things that gives me the inspiration to keep doing what I'm doing. And like I said, right now, my year,
let me break again for the person that sent the extra $50. Thank you. Again, the phone is beeping. At the moment, we have $150 to be sending to Dawn. Guys, you're doing incredible. Please, again, I just wanted to remind you that the Cash App is hashtag or the dollar sign T, the letter T, the letter M, the letter Y, the letter S, which is the short code for To My Younger Self. The number 7, it's the number of God, as we all know. It's a number that To My Younger Self and me personally loves very well. So that's just for you to remember, TMYS. Please, please, please. We're getting there. So let the phone keep beeping. We want to be able to tell Dawn how much we have been able to gather in the middle of the show. Okay. Sorry, Dawn. Keep going. Thanks again, guys. Thank you.
Before I move on, I just want to assure the public about something. One of the problems with our education, especially the government schools, is that all the stakeholders are not functional. The community, the government is the first person who's supposed to be the stakeholder, followed by the teachers, the community, the parents, and the child. We are 5. Now, what I do is that I try to engage all the stakeholders. Of course, you watching me right now, anybody watching me, you begin to become part of my class. So you have an eye in it, even though you do not do anything. But once you just keep a comment on our page, to show you are following us, then I know someone is keeping me accountable. Then the children are equally aware. So my new class I've had, they keep asking me, when are we going live on Facebook? I haven't come live with any of them.
And I don't think you should. I don't think you should. Guys, I don't know if you agree. I don't think we should do live with them yet. They need, and we do need to protect their innocence at all costs. But I absolutely do think you should post their progress and their pictures if need be and what you're doing. Live, we're not sure yet, but we wouldn't tell you what to do. This is me being big sister already and being extremely protective already. But we're gonna leave that here. But I'm glad they even have the gumption to ask, when are we going live? The other thing we want to do is to protect them from thinking that being live or the internet is their saving grace, because technically it really isn't. You know what I mean? Because then it becomes a very facial thing as opposed to the hard work that we're trying to build. And I'm saying we as though I've been a part of this story since forever. In fact, I just jumped in. So but Don, please continue. Yes, keep going.
What I am looking out for currently, the way forward I'm looking out for, and like I said, challenges we have faced them from day one to this moment. And currently our challenge, like I just told you about education, which we are taking, the second thing is how to sustain the library and find ways to make the reading become part of them. So as we go forward, my whole year plans for myself have been scrubbed up. I've scrubbed everything about me of going so loud for these students, especially about their reading and their fluency. Over here, not even, they don't even speak English. But what we are trying to do from now forth is to instill a reading habit in them. So yesterday we couldn't go, but today, before I even came for the interview, they asked me, "Chef, are we going for a session after a library session after school?" And I'm like, "Yes, today we are going." So we go there and then take a session. So I'll be doing this for a whole year. to see the impact it will bring about.
Mm.
And the stories, I have cut a lot out because there are so many of them. I want to say thank you to the people that come through for us. I have people who do not want me to mention anything about them, but I have people taking care of some of my kids that even now, I'm not even aware. Because as they got in touch with the parents, they take care of them. And I would say this is a poor area because I've seen poverty. And it's not like children come to school, we don't have school feeding program. So what happens is when the children come to school, they'll tell you they'll go home third grade to eat. Some do not come back. There's no food.
Yes.
You have no school feeding. But what happens is the class I had just sent away, which is class 6. Now we have this community thing. If you don't have money for school, you still come to school. It's either the teacher I bill it or the community takes care of you. So they are okay with it. The new class that has come, we are working on that as well. And even as we work, we have somebody that within today, tomorrow, and then the next day, the person is equally painting our class for us. So very soon we are going to send you pictures of our painted class. Everything is ready and we are the painting to be done. So it's like you are all part of the work we are doing. And it's just so nice having everybody around. The stories are endless. I cannot recount all of them because there's another story about discipline. The discipline, before I came here, something happened. Let me share that story. There's no picture for you.
Yes, and that's okay. But just so you know, our producer has graduated you. Now you are part of our master class faculty. Result. Listen, it takes a lot of work to be able to be part of the To My Younger Self Master Storytelling class faculty, okay? And all you had to do was show up, okay? And I believe I saw Honorable Joyce Bauer Mokhtari here a few minutes ago. Honorable,
I love it. Look, you see, I commented on Twitter, I needed to have her one day in my school.
It's okay.
Last year.
She has said that we need to locate her, so I'll reach out to JBM and know what that comment was about. At JBM, it looks like I've already put my foot in it. So hopefully the comment was not just for me, but also for Dawn when you said locate me. And let's find that comment from JBM. And I mentioned JBM specifically because I know from the government point of view, she definitely would be able to help. JBM, I know you've probably fallen off, but this comment there when you said locate me, I have been impressed upon to say I will locate you on behalf of Dawn. And if you aren't talking about Dawn, I'm locating you anyway. Because I know you and I have other talks in the back, but I thought I would put this here. And I'm your little sister. I'm always doing something incredibly wild, right? Like, Zoe, how could you do this to me? But sorry, big sis, I've done. So here we go. Dawn, continue. Yes.
So before I came here, I took over. One thing was using a team. A cross section of the parents and the teachers, educators still believe we can use a team. Some others say when I took over, the class was already timid. I forgot to mention that in my story. They were so timid. What is your name? You would have to plead before they mention their name.
Wow.
And I was like, what's happening? So so the very first day I took over the class, I asked the class captain, by focus with the next class, I don't want to see a kid in my class. Because even mentioning your name, I have to plead. So if I raise the cane, they won't talk anymore. So from that day, I threw away the cane. And I fostered that relationship. So when the new class came in, just today before I came for this interview, there's a boy whose parent has consistently forced me to use the cane, and I never use. So this boy misbehaved today to an extent that I have nothing to do than to try a cane. I was like, God, please, I don't want to use the cane today. I let him go. Then I punished him. I made him do some different work. Then, when I was rushing to come here, the boy approached me, he's called Gideon. They go, Chef. I was like, Gideon,
Can I just say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so overwhelmed. We're at $210 at the moment. Guys, I I am overwhelmed. And I never ever do this because you guys know I never look on my phone. But my phone is beeping so much that I'm overwhelmed. We're at $210 at the moment. Guys, thank you. God bless you. If my mascara spills over, just forgive me. It is just one of those things. I know I try to look pretty for you, but just today I'm probably just gonna look messy, and that's okay. 210. It's incredible. As a community, we can do it. As a group of storytellers, we can do it, and we can impact the world. Let me tell you, when I read Don's bio, he said that he is a firm believer in change your world, which is transformation is possible beginning with each of us, each and every one of you. Transformation is happening with us. Exactly. John C. Maxwell. I dare say you will meet that guy one day, very, very soon, Don. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. So, Patricia Asante Frimpong, I want to thank you for your donation. Jane Deku, thank you. EJOD, my very dear friend, I want to appreciate you. Thank you. I know there's a couple of people who, just by virtue of knowing them, I know they would lash me if I mention their name. So I won't mention their name, but you know yourselves. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep it coming. Don, let's continue. I'm sorry I had to break in, and because this is, it's overwhelming. Yes, thank you guys. Go ahead.
And I like to tell stories, but when I'm overwhelmed, sometimes it's hard to continue. And this is crazy.
It's okay. Breathe. Yes, breathe. Catch up. Okay, how about you breathe whilst we read a note from our producer? Okay. Producer says, please pass on this note to your current class. I love our producer. There's 3 producers on this show. And they're all incredibly phenomenal. This is one of them, Elsie Dixon. She says, dear students of Sir Don Francis, your auntie and uncles of To My Younger Self just want you to know how much we love you and are proud of the hard work you're putting in. Keep working hard. The sky is the limit. Aim high. We're here to support you. And just take a breath. Take a breath, Dawn. Breathe. It's okay. I know you're a guy, so you probably wouldn't share a tear like I am and showing off all my mascara. But breathe. There we go. What a powerful show today is, right, guys? What an incredible time we're having. All right, we'll let Don now. Are you okay now? Have you breathed enough? He's okay now. So he's going to continue with the story of discipline, and we will try to unhook. Okay? All right, Don, go ahead.
So the story of Gideon. So when I even to come for the interview, I left school and I came here. And he met me by the road. I didn't take a picture of it. And it's like, sir, I'm like, Gideon, I thought because I had punished him for misbehaving. And this is the boy, the parent just handed him over to me yesterday. And he says, you've been calling us to come to the school. Look, if you have assured us you want the boy, then take him. Then they went. So when I punished him, I thought he didn't like it. And he met me at the market and like, sir, he was so shy. Then it's like, sir, and I said, Gideon, what's wrong? Why did you follow me after? And he said, he was holding a black polythene here. And he says, this is it. See, now, what are you giving me? I took it and it was a pineapple. And you know, it is the only thing I've ate to eat.
Oh my. After you punished him.
The thing is that I can punish, I've punished about 3 kids and they cry before me. Once they are done crying, you continue our relationship because I'm your father. I need to prove them to that. Yes, that's how we do it. So what's happening is I'm just looking for a change. It's the only thing I'm looking for is just a change. At least initially I told them I wanted only one person, only just a single student. But as the time goes on, now we are having disciples. They are taking much more than I thought. So I am so happy we are having this. And the challenge I keep getting now is because once people are coming in, then the job is becoming bigger for me.
Yes.
It's becoming bigger for me. I
Yes.
enjoyed it because you are able to transform lives. And that is, yes.
Wow.
So that, I've eaten the pineapple. I wanted to show it on the show, but Charlie, I was so hungry. I had no time to buy it.
It's okay. You've eaten the pineapple. You've eaten it. It was for you anyway. So we're glad you were able to eat it. Oh my goodness. You know, it's so incredible because when we were about to start the show, we run through a few technical difficulties. And you know, when you go a little bit into the spiritual realm, you know, when something great is about to happen, the other part of the universe tries so hard to stop it. But God is God and he worked it out. And Audrey, who is also a professor, she says, train up the child the way he should go. Thank you for all you do for these children, Don Francis. It's just an incredible storytelling time. And I know it's going to get bigger. And you're going to need all the help you're going to need. And of course, you're going to be staying accountable to all of your stakeholders and your partners, those that are chipping in here and there. The only way Ghana and Africa, for that matter, can go forward is this model that Don is crafting for young adults across Ghana right now. We cannot keep depending on the government any longer. Of course, we want to hold government accountable to do what they said they would do and what they're supposed to do. But even before then, the only reason why the government will probably put some money in Don's area is because he chose to start first. And he's showing and modeling to the rest of the world. And of course, really in Ghana, that you just have to start in your little corner. So how can we start in our little corners? And if you're a teacher out there and you're watching Don, I want you to learn from him. Maybe at some point, Don would start teaching teachers, not to go to the teacher training college to teach them, because that's not his job, but to teach teachers how to absolutely love the job and how to adapt to the environment and not be stuck to the curriculum alone. Because obviously the curriculum where he is right now was not necessarily going to work if he had to stick to that. He had to get innovative. He had to use technology and definitely be in it. Here's another thing. Don't go into teaching because you want the money, because you will fail.
No.
So you don't like teaching like me. When they said go to teacher training college, I said, no, I will not, because I would not be like Don. But what you can do is you can put your money, a little bit of it, towards people like Don. Okay? Please, 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 please. Today, I am begging you with both my head, my heart, my intestines, and everything in between. Let's push Don and let's help him help the next generation. Don, I'm going to give you a few minutes to kind of close us out. But before we do that, guys, let me I have to go to my cue cards so that we can say goodbye properly. We're always talking about supporting each other, supporting Ghana, and of course, supporting Africa as a whole. So here's what I want you to do for me. Today's Valentine's Day. People are showing love to the people that they're showing. By the way, Don, happy Valentine's Day to you. What an incredible, incredible Valentine's Day gift we've had. And for those of you who donated, you've just given Don an incredible Valentine's Day gift, him and all the children he's teaching. So we're very, very grateful for that. But if you have other loved ones and you want to kind of show them that you love them, of course, loving somebody is like an everyday thing. If you want to single out today, here's what I want you to do for me. Put your money back in Ghana. Put your money back in Africa, okay? So I'm encouraging you to support Where Ghana. Please support Where Ghana. They're doing incredible things on the continent, of course, and in Ghana. Humanity Chats by Margie Marge. She is also an incredible human being. She's actually joining us next week on Author's Corner. We're switching it up a bit because of scheduling. So next week, in honor of Black History Month, we're going to be And Don will try to get you and your kids some of these books so that you can discuss it. This is called Conversation About Race. Okay, and, Marge and I will be talking about it next week on Author's Corner. Core Designs, who is keeping us authentic with our accessories and the way we dress as Africans, okay? Definitely invest your money in Core Designs. Music for Your Quality Feet by Uncle Ecole Fichot, who just guys kind of brings people together virtually all around the world and kind of just allows them to dance and chill all virtually every Sunday. It's incredible. It's a movement, and we're so glad to be associated with Music for Your Quality Feet and being a part of it every once in a while. Also, Collateral on 6th Avenue, Saxon 5th. M. Sims by Mabel Design, Ryle by Design out of Kenya via New York. Vonzige Bridal, also another one of my favorite bridal designers, who is also going to be on the show in March. An incredible young woman who is doing incredible things. Keys and Credo by Nana Sapon, Horseman Shoes, Caveman Watches. There's just so many people doing incredible things in Ghana and in Africa for that matter, and we want you to definitely patronize them. Today, you've heard a lot about Nana Redamwa, who has become like a catalyst to a lot of the things that are happening in Dawn's life and in the lives of the children. Guys, he is the publisher, him and Kofi Akagli, they're publishers at Book Nook Store. They just are incredible. They're the next big thing in Africa right now, and we want you to support them. So if you need books, or if you want to purchase books to support Dawn, please just do it through Book Nook for our sake, okay? We want to thank Kunda Kids, who are also doing incredible things. And maybe Dawn will get you in touch with Kunda Kids, because they are specifically publishing books for Africans by Africans. Okay, they're telling incredible African stories so kids can get into the history of Africa. It's incredible, incredible. To our monthly donors, Rose Machayo, Auntie Rose, thank you. I know you're not here today, but we want to thank you. Jane Fiorito, we want to thank you. Auntie B of Exceptional Care, we want to thank you. Auntie Araba, thank you. I double thank you. And you know why I am double thanking you today. Mr. EKD, happy birthday to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Am I leaving something else out, guys? Please let me know if I am. And Don, we're going to come back to you and ask you to kind of close us out. What is the last thing you would like to leave us with? On today being a Valentine's Day, being an incredible storytelling time thing. I haven't checked my phone yet, but at the moment we're at 210, guys. In fact, if we could just kick it up a notch and get it to $500 by end of day today, man, we'll put it all together. And by the weekend, Don will have his $500. I'm telling you, the kids will do great. I'm a big dreamer. I don't think $500, however we intend to translate it into Ghana cities, is not enough. I really don't think so. But we're going to start somewhere, right? And who knows what this might foster. You know what I mean? So let's aim just for 500, but we'll take 1,000, we'll take 2,000, and we'll take 1,000,000. We're dreaming big. All right, Don, over to you.
All right. So I do not have the words to thank you, Nana. You know, it all began from once again. You know, Nana began the whole thing.
Yes.
I remember you asked on Facebook teacher, and Nana is like, "Oh, Don Francis, like how you know when somebody gives you an access, it is the biggest thing. I keep wondering how a man with all these names can and get the whole 3 young boys to say Vim to point out to people that this boy can do this. Sometimes I keep asking myself, Nana, you are selling your name out, but he believes in me and he's able to call out my name before the public. So
Yes.
thank you so much to Nana Redamo and then to you for this opportunity. You are doing an amazing thing. I like, and please, they can follow us on Facebook as well. We share a lot of amazing stories there. Sometimes I like to share the funny ones. Most often I share them there. And you can follow us and enjoy them. But before I go, I am an avid reader. I love to read books. That's why I'm more concerned about the text reading. And there's a book by Nana Redamo called excursions on my mind. Like
Mhm.
I'm reading that book. It's just little stories I put together. Viewers can try out for that book. And I also this book called The Purpose Given Life. I have every year read it twice
I
just
have
to
it
say
right
on
there in my room right now. Yes.
no, it is on the basis of this book I learned to put people first. Yeah, so
Wow.
that's one of my amazing read. And of course, it was bought for me by one of our Facebook aunties. Change Your World by John C. Maxwell, my favorite author, and um, um, Robert Hoskins. That's the book I'm currently reading. It talks about changing your world. If somebody wants to read, you can try that book. And
Mhm.
we equally have a book, The Magic of Thinking Big. There's a chapter on it that talks about environment, and that
Mhm.
is why I use my kids. The environment around this area do not help our kids. We do the work at school, we go back, the environment corrupts it.
Mhm.
So this helps to take charge of their environment and then the school as well.
Mhm.
And one of my other favorite books called Today Matters by John C. Maxwell. It is a book that wants you to. It makes you take the moment, you live in the moment. It reminds you to think about your thinking, your planning, your all those things in this very moment because that is the only time you have. These are just four out of the books. And of course, I am a Christian of the Church of Pentecost, but I have so many other pastors around me. I'm a Christian as well, and the Bible is my basic book. So these are the books I read. But once again, lastly, please, viewers, I do not have the words now, and I don't know how I'm going to get a bigger platform to say thank you. But
This is the biggest platform. I think we're calling ourselves the best show coming out of Africa very, very soon. So
yeah, I'm
the
saying I
thank
have to
you
say
you've given us
because
is more than enough.
yeah, so I don't know when I'm coming on again, but viewers and everyone here, please, God bless you.
Mm.
I do not words to say it well, but I hope maybe one day I can write it in words.
Mm.
God bless you for touching the basis of education. There's a quote that says, "Education is there." I've forgotten.
It's
Education
okay.
is there.
Don't I love this dude, man. He's like, I was trying to
So,
be smart in the moment, but I'm smart all the time anyway. I've forgotten this particular code. It's okay. I was about to help you by saying education is the mother of invention. It's not true, but it is. Okay?
there's a former president, John Mahama, will say, "Education is the only key to success," and I
Mhm.
feel that is true. Once you educate just a single person
Mhm.
about how to write, how to change your words. So initially, like I told you, I wanted just a single disciple, a student of mine who will listen to me. And
Mhm.
now we have so many of them. So for those of you watching us and everybody, including you and I read and all those who are not in the education sector, but helping pushing me to do it well, you are the gems. You are rather doing the job. As for me, I'm just a catalyst trying to. But I just put it together. But the
Mhm.
real people doing it are the people who call you, do this, or take this amount of money, please, we need this for your children. You are doing the job. So please, thank you so much for coming through for us. Thank you so much for changing the lives of my kids and myself as well. I got this platform because of the children. So please, thank you. Thank you. Baraka, I'm a Dagao. So we say Baraka like your
Mhm.
name.
Which is my name.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you, all of you, for coming through for us. Thank you.
Don,
Baraka,
what a
Baraka.
rare pleasure. What an incredibly, we normally don't use vivacious for men because it kind of has become like a word just for women. But you're contagious and very vivacious. You're filled with life. And we're just
Thank you.
praying and we're also hoping and we're pushing you that you stay true to your character, that no matter how big you get, because you are going to get there, you do not let anybody or anything or any block of thought, politics or not politics, spiritual or not, you don't let anything corrupt this incredibly amazing inner core person that God has made you to be. We pray that you stay true. I know one day you will probably move on and you'll be teaching university students and master classes and so on and so forth, because um, that's what progress does. You don't get to stay in the same place no matter how comfortable you are. At some point, there's going to be a season where you are completely out of your comfort zone because of what you have started. What I personally, Zoe, wishes for you is that you don't lose your inner child and that inner thing, that passion that is burning so beautifully inside of you. We wish you well. We're very thankful that you said yes to us so enthusiastically. There's so many people saying thank you to you. Ralia says thank you. Jane has said amen. We are all just so grateful. Thank you for coming on to my younger self. We'll definitely be doing more work with you in the background. And may God help us all, right? We are now all stakeholders with Don, and may God help us all. With that being said, guys, enjoy your Valentine's Day. Longer show today than normal, but that's okay. My name is Zoe Baraka. It has been an absolute pleasure. Please keep the donations coming. In fact, we're not going to call them donations. We're just going to call them, please keep your love notes coming. These are love notes. Okay, keep your love notes coming so that they can be able to get to that excursion in Accra. Whoever it is that is charging you $4,000, tell that person that you got some aunties and uncles from all around the world, and we've definitely just kind of pushed that 4,000 aside like it's nothing. We kicked it out of the ballpark. Don't tell him to increase it though. We don't like that. Guys, again, my name is Zoe Baraka. What an absolute pleasure. We will see you next week with Margie March. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Israel, kama Egypt, kaja Ethiopia, kaja Sudan, waja shong. Kaja Ikushima, you know, wanime kona me waja shong. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know, waja shong. Waja waja shong. Manchester, no Sumanguru, you know, walk where they get, what you show.